about the moment you wake up. You might flip a light switch, turn on a radio, or check a charged phone. Where exactly does the power for all those daily routines come from? For a long time, much of the world has relied on fuels like coal and oil. These resources take millions of years to form deep underground, meaning that once we dig them up and burn them, they are gone for good. But there is an alternative. This animation shows how we can capture power from natural processes, like the sun, wind, and rain. Because nature is constantly at work, this energy fills itself back up just as fast as we use it. Here in Uganda, we are surrounded by an incredible abundance of these exact natural forces. We have intense daily sunshine, fast-flowing rivers, and deep agricultural resources. By learning how to capture those naturally repeating cycles, we can generate all the electricity we need to run our homes and cities indefinitely, without emptying the Earth's natural reserves. Let's start with this view of the River Nile. This calm water is the starting point for most electricity used across the country. To capture the force of that water, we build massive structures like this dam to harness all that energy of motion. The dam creates a large pool of water, which is forced down through a steep, narrow passage. At the bottom, it slams into a giant turbine, forcing it to spin. As the turbine spins, it turns a shaft connected to a generator. Inside, magnets spin rapidly past copper wires, pulling electricity right out of that mechanical motion. By transforming the heavy, continuous flow of our major rivers into a centralized power source, we create a reliable backbone for the national grid that can light up entire cities at once. Yet, despite those massive dams, electricity isn't actually the way most energy is used in Uganda. In fact, 94% of the country's total energy consumption comes from organic materials or biomass. We see this every day in our local markets. Most families rely heavily on wood and these large sacks of charcoal to cook their meals. But relying on wood creates a heavy burden. People carry heavy bundles over long distances, and cutting down trees can eventually lead to widespread deforestation. There is a cleaner way to get energy without cutting down trees. Families on local farms can actually use the waste produced by their animals. This diagram shows how that works. Animal waste is collected in an airtight underground dome. As natural bacteria break the waste down, they release a clean gas that can be piped straight into a kitchen to power a stove. This gives a farm a self-sufficient way to cook without any smoke. It turns a waste product into a valuable resource while keeping the surrounding forest standing. Some places, like this rural school, are too far away from the national grid. For these areas, local solar power is often the best solution. Solar panels create electricity without moving parts. They use a specially treated material that reacts to sunlight. When light hits it, it knocks particles loose, creating a flow of electricity. That raw power then flows into a small box that translates it into the specific type of electricity we use to safely run classroom lights and computers. However, solar and wind energy have one major catch. They depend entirely on the weather. The sun sets every evening, and the wind eventually stops blowing. This creates a gap in the power supply. To bridge that gap, we use storage systems. By charging large batteries while the sun is out, a community can capture that extra energy and keep the lights on all through the night. While these systems offer perfect independence for remote areas, they do require careful planning and regular maintenance to make sure the power stays uninterrupted for the long term. A secure future for the country relies on all of these systems working together. We need the river's power for our cities, solar for our schools, and clean gas from our farms. But before we build even more power systems, there is one step we can all take: making sure we don't waste the energy we already have. By doing things like using bulbs that draw less power, or making sure our buildings are well insulated, we can get the same work done while putting less stress on the environment. Moving toward these renewable sources is a commitment to taking care of our local ecosystems, ensuring that our rivers stay healthy and our forests stay green. Nature has provided us with an endless supply of power. By understanding how to work with these natural cycles, Uganda is building a clean, powerful, and lasting future. To explore more hands-on science and continue your learning journey, visit us at yaka.cc.